guys, so it looks like the YouTuber Turkey Tom finally responded to the allegations he had against him. These allegations came out a few weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, and there's some pretty serious and disturbing allegations. I want to make that very clear because some people, I'm not gonna drop names, but some people were running with the narrative that salty people on Twitter were going with, just being complete NPCs, believing everything they hear. And in case you guys don't know who I'm talking about, Turkey Tom is a pretty big commentary, documentary guy. Long story short, to summarize it because he's gonna get into it, but he was accused of being rough with his partners to the point where some girls claim that he was making them bleed from rough sex and that he was recording women without their consent, that he wore diapers and was into age play. Just really weird stuff that if I just saw that, right, and I've never heard of this guy, I'm like, well, this guy sounds like a freak. If you told me this guy was in the Jeffrey Epstein emails, I would have been like, you know what? I could believe that. But these were just allegations by girls on Kiwi Farms, so that alone should be enough to discredit. And really quickly before we get into it, there was people online that were saying that I was, defending Tom and I wouldn't make a video on Tom because we're BFFs and we love each other and we make out every single weekend. It's like, I mean, I've met the guy. He's been cool with me. I don't have anything bad to say about him. This situation, the Turkey Tom situation, is much different than recent situations such as Lakari, for example. Some people were like, well, you talked about Lakari, but not Tom. Tom did not incriminate himself in 4K looking at a teen folder live on stream. Like, it's completely different. These were just allegations by girls on Kiwi Farms, which their whole goal, by the way, was to protect women from creepy men like Turkey Tom. So I'm gonna post my story on Kiwi Farms. No girl, no woman has ever been to Kiwi Farms. Like, the only women that go to Kiwi Farms are like, they're clearly not all there. Let's just put it that way. They're not all there. If you would have taken this story to Twitter, Instagram, or even Reddit, it would have been a lot more credible, and I think a lot more people would have covered it. It was Kiwi Farms. Like, come on.
I'm sorry that this response took so long. I wanted to make sure I had all the facts together before saying anything. Recently, I've been accused by an ex-girlfriend, along with an ex-partner, of non-consensually filming sexual encounters, being so rough and inconsiderate during sexual encounters that it bordered on assault, encouraging eating disorders, being into age play, along with a litany of other completely baseless, false accusations. The two women who are accusing me, Sacramento89, real name Rowan, and Left 4 Dead, real name Katie, took to gossip forum Kiwi Farms to post the accusations, along with carefully cherry-picked screenshots to back up their claims. These claims aren't super difficult to debunk just because of the overwhelming amount of evidence I have on my side. So without further ado, let's start with Sacramento or Rowan. This is a girl I dated for about 7 months, from May of 2025 until January 10th of 2026. 4 days later, she made her first post. Here, she alleges that I am a real freak and like to, quote, record sexual encounters without asking for consent. This is blatantly untrue. I have never recorded any sexual encounter without explicit consent. As a matter of fact, with Rowan, she was the one who initiated the idea of filming sex acts in the first place. On Tuesday, August 19th, after 3 months of knowing each other and being sexually active, Rowan texted me saying, "You should get those meta glasses when you crack me." I responded by saying, "For what?" And she answers again, "Cracking time," alluding to me filming her with the glasses onboard camera. Now, at the time, I did not feed into this. I did not show enthusiasm. I didn't even agree to get the glasses. I just responded and said, "Good night, sweet dreams." So 1 whole week goes by without us talking about it whatsoever, and then on August 25th, Rowan texts me saying, "You should get those meta things for real." So I respond by saying, "I think I'm going to avoid filming anything involving sex for a while," showing that I am clearly not the person interested in filming our sexual encounters. She is. As you can see in the text, even when I say I don't want to film us having sex, she pushes the issue. Now, to be clear, we did eventually take videos of ourselves being intimate, but I was given explicit consent every single time. And on a few occasions, she even took the phone out of my hand and was holding it while filming us. To be clear, there was never a tripod or a hidden camera. It was always handheld, and in every single video, she was clearly aware of the camera, making eye contact with the camera lens.
See, this is why, and I've learned this the hard way. See, this is why you wait. Now, don't get it twisted. I've definitely had my L moments where I jumped the gun. That was many years ago. I want to make that very clear, back when I was just starting out, which, that's not an excuse. I'm a grown man. I got to take accountability for my L's. I've learned over the years that you got to be really careful with stuff like this, and you just cannot go with the popular opinion. Just because everyone's saying this guy's a racist, you could listen, right? You could pay attention to it, but there's always, in every single situation, two sides to a story. And I thought we were over that at this point. I thought everyone knew better. I thought we got to a place, and no pun intended, but in society where this person says something, X-YouTuber's a horrible person, but there's also his story or her story. That's why you gotta be extremely careful with this kind of stuff, because yeah, you know, some people could be like, yeah, it's drama, but then at the same time, these are real people and this has real life consequences. Everyone's saying this person is a freak because they recorded women without their consent and allegedly beat them up, right? In Turkey Tom's situation, the allegations. And everyone on Twitter, and there were so many YouTube videos being like, yeah guys, I think he did it. He cannot come back from this. He's finished. He wears diapers. It's like, in another situation, you have everyone calling Tectone a is all of this crazy stuff. It's like, we gotta chill out with throwing around the word rape just because, you know, we consented to something once and years later we're like, well, I don't consent to it as of now, but I did back in the day. Now we can confirm that the girl that was saying, yeah, he recorded me without consent, this guy's a real creep, guys, I want to save women, she was the one that initiated all of this. Once again, there's always two sides to a story. Do not believe the popular trendy thing that all the NPCs are saying. All right, think for yourself.
Also on September 8th, Rowan texts me, I do miss it though, in regards to our sexual interactions. She follows it up by saying send the videos. Keep in mind, these are videos that she claims in present day were taken without her consent. She then goes on to say, and I quote, I will watch them and keep them close to my heart, clearly indicating she has no problem whatsoever with them existing. I'm an extremely paranoid person when it comes to my personal life and my sex life and my dating life. As a public figure, I just like to keep my private life private. So I was very hesitant to send Rowan any sexual videos we had taken. However, I did send her one single still image from one of the videos where my face is obscured. I guess there was some lingering thought in the back of my mind that if her accounts were not locked down super well, and if she had been hacked, then the videos could have been made public. Now, there's an implication she makes a few different times that I'm basically blackmailing her with these videos.
Somebody asked if you had any intention of getting any sort of like law enforcement involved, but I feel like you answered this where you just want to try to compel him to delete whatever he has on you, and that's like the the extent of your interest.
Yeah. And if he doesn't, I don't know. I'm kind of confused about what to do, but we'll see.
At no point anywhere did Rowan provide any proof of me threatening to release these videos of us having sex or threatening to send them anywhere. So she has no reason to believe that I would ever release them. The idea that I, a person who makes a living as a public figure, would publicly release videos of me fucking my ex-girlfriend to get back at her is so insane. Not only would that incur reputational harm beyond belief, but also serious legal consequences.
If you've been watching me for a minute, you guys know what I'm about to say. And it starts with a C, and no, it's not cunt. It's use common sense. Like, just think about this for a second, all right? And I really want to drive this point home. Just think about it for a second. Why would a successful YouTuber do this? Like, you just straight up think about that for a second. Why would he leak his own video, expose himself, expose some random nobody girl, get in trouble, potentially get sued, and destroy his career? Does that make sense? I'm not claiming I have fucking Albert Einstein IQ and I'm, you know, the smartest guy in the room, because I'm not. But all it takes, it's a little common sense for you to be like, yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Why would he do this? He has nothing to win and absolutely everything to lose.
The only person who has ever sent an image of us having sex to anyone is, ironically, Rowan. Days after I broke up with her, she, without my consent, sent the only image she has of us having sex to the owner of Kiwi Farms. Here, listen to him describe it.
Oh, and one other thing, I forgot about this, but you actually, Sacramento had sent me a picture that was like censored. Apparently the only picture that he would send you is one where his face isn't clearly visible in it, but you can,
Yes.
I can tell the desk, like his computer is moved onto the table, but I can still see like the monster is like on the cozy that's like on the table, like in the exact same position. So I can tell that's clearly his desk.
I guess I just find it ironic that someone who's accusing me of blackmailing her with her nudes literally sent a picture of us having sex to a man that she has never met. Now, Josh recounts seeing this image and talks about how hard it looks like I was grabbing Rowan on the mouth. essentially using it as evidence to support another claim she makes that I am too rough during sex, which I find very interesting because after I sent Rowan this photo, she texted me saying, "I like when you cover my mouth like that." Again, she texted me asking me to send her the videos, and she says, "Yeah, whenever you're not locked in, send the videos. It will fix me for about a week. Goon sesh." This is clear evidence that she has no problem with these videos existing. To this day, she has provided zero proof that the videos were recorded non-consensually, or that I was blackmailing her with them, or that I had any intention of sending them to anyone. Reason being, I never did any of those things.
If you ask me, what do I think about the girl that's making these insane career-ending allegations? I think, number one, I think she's fucking unhinged. I think she's fucking insane. Second of all, I truly do think she's just a salty ex-girlfriend that is in her feelings that she got dumped and Tom moved on and she hasn't. I mean, truth be told, that's just what it comes across as. Oh, this guy left me. This guy dumped me. I'm gonna destroy his career. You know what I mean? It's a tale as old as time, guys. This literally happens every single time. She's just a salty ex. It happens. It happens to the best of us.
He would just pull out his phone and record, and I wouldn't notice until maybe 30 seconds in a minute or a minute into it.
Now, I obviously can't and would never show these videos to anyone, but in them, it's undeniable that she is staring directly into the camera from the moment the video starts. She never once questions why I'm filming or what I'm doing, because the reality is that every single time we recorded, I had explicit permission. Ask yourself, how could she possibly have never consented to filming when she's literally holding my phone next to her face as she sucks my dick? It's also kind of strange to me that at the time she referred to them as our videos, but in the present she's claiming she doesn't even want them to exist. On November 6th, Rowan asked me why I never ask her for nudes. I say I have a bunch of videos already and that's why. She does not express that she has a problem with me having the videos. She doesn't complain about it. She doesn't say they were taken without her consent. In fact, throughout the entire relationship, she was sending me nude photos of herself unsolicited every single month. Why would you send nude photos of yourself to someone you think could use them against you? Rowan personally posted dozens of screenshots of our texts, and not a single one shows her bringing up any of the videos being non-consensual. Another interesting fact is that during our breakup, she texted me a pros and cons list, which she apparently had written about me on January 4th of 2026.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, this is a salty ex-girlfriend. 1,000%. Like in this situation, it's just so funny that when the people are together, they're like, yeah, you know, I love this person. I love being with this person. They're the hottest person ever. And then the second they broke up, they're like, you're ugly and you smell bad and you're irrelevant and you're poor, or you know, whatever it might be. So I guess these are the Turkey Tom pros and cons. So once again, keep this in mind. This did not stop her from sucking that lissy at any point. She continued to do it until she got broken up with, and then she got salty. So just keep that in mind. So dry and vague, rarely compliments me, doesn't leave his house. We gotta grind. No hobbies other than gym or video games. Base Tom, I gotta talk to him more often. Talks about other women lustfully in front of me. Based, just Sigma shit. Follows IG models / OF girls even when I asked him to stop. Don't care. Now here's the thing. There was a lot of people that were coming at Turkey Tom for following hot girls on IG, for following baddies, OF girls, or just random girls that were hot on IG. And they were like, this is so evil and disgusting. Turkey Tom is a gooner. It's like, do I care that Turkey Tom or anyone follows hot girls on IG or Twitter, whatever it might be? No. I mean, if anything, that just exposes you for being a bitchless loser that doesn't get anything. Like, oh, look at this. Turkey Tom is successful and rich and he follows hot girls on IG. We really gotta stop him, guys. It's like, you're a fucking loser. At that point, you're just exposing yourself for being holeless, for being a brokey. All right, you're just salty. No one follows you back. Doesn't seem to want to support me at all in the future. I mean, you guys dated for 6 fucking months. I don't know why this crazy chick is acting like they were dating for 5 years. 6 months. Chill out. Sent dick pics to a Belle Delphine copycat before. Once again, based, I would too. Wait, this video isn't about me. As you guys can see, the cons list is pretty long. Let's see what the pros are. Sweet. Sometimes dates are nice. Tries to make it work. Funny. Pays for meals. Makes me feel secure. Muscles. All right. W, right? Cons, chopped in the face and think we're matched in looks. I mean, this clearly wasn't an issue in the past. It just, now you guys broke up and you're salty.
With that out of the way, we can move on to Rowan's claim that I was sexually abusive towards her. In that same pros and cons list, Rowan wrote, says he likes hurting me during sex and making me bleed. This also reflects her public claims about me, but the great irony is that I never even said this. She did. On September 14th, 2025, Rowan sent me a text saying, quote, "I'm such a freak. I like when it hurts and bleeds after. Something Wong." In one of her public-facing posts about me, she posts an interaction which reads as follows. She says, quote, "Like, we don't need to do it 3 times in one day, or do it so hard I hurt and bleed." And I said, well, if you don't want to have as much sex, we don't gotta. We can do other things. And she says, okay, I like doing other things too. The way this screenshot is cropped, it comes across like I'm some just super callous freak who's brutally jackhammering her vagina like Steve mining diamonds. But in the full uncropped screenshot, her immediate response to me after that is, "I'm a freak. I say this, and as soon as I see you, I'm going to be freaky again. I can't resist." In the interview, she elaborates on this even more, specifically claiming that she would bleed almost every time we had sex.
Okay, and you would bleed
Yes.
same? And you didn't stop?
Yeah, I would bleed almost every time.
This is just blatantly untrue as well, and it's easy to see by going through our text messages. On August 17th of 2025, the day after my birthday, Rowan and I were planning to go to Mass, and she wanted to have sex with me. So she texted me saying, "Tom, I started my period." I was driving, so I couldn't say much, but I replied by saying, "That sucks. I'm 40 minutes away." She follows up by asking me if I mind getting my sword bloody, and I say I'll be okay. So if it wasn't already clear, she's asking me if I'm okay with getting blood on my dick. Why would this be something she's even asking if every time we have sex, I'm making her bleed? Keep in mind, this is months into us going out and being sexually active, and she's still worried that the idea of bleeding during sex would gross me out. Now, as soon as she began posting about me, people were naturally perplexed by her claim that she was bleeding from sex every single time. They asked if she had some kind of medical problem, and she says, "I have no health issue that I know of, never bled during sex before. It was the aggression. Just gave into it after a while and told him I liked it, but I bled after almost every single time." I feel like most of this statement has already been dispelled, but even the smallest detail of no medical condition that I know of is also false. On September 24th of 2025, Rowan texted me saying that she's going to switch from her current birth control, Nexplanon, to the pill because she has month-long periods that cause her to bleed. So regardless of sex, Rowan admittedly bleeds for an entire month at a time.
So once again, just more lies on the girl's behalf. So crazy. Once again, I'm not gonna name names, but it's so crazy to me. There's people that believe this and that were calling him they were just saying all sorts of things and people were celebrating, and I get it. Turkey Tom is a controversial guy. Not everyone likes him. So of course, when something like this comes out about him, naturally, people that don't like him will celebrate this, right? Whether it's true or not, they will run with it. Some people are just fucking retarded. I don't know what to tell you. We ran with this narrative that he was like the CEO of rape or something. It's like, come on.
So at every opportunity, this girl is publicly saying, "Oh my God, look at all this horrible shit he did to me." And then she's texting me that she wants me to kidnap her, tie her up, and pound her in the woods. And if anyone is putting up any resistance to that, it's me.
But small YouTubers and Twitter retards told me that God sent Tom to replace Jeffrey Epstein and Diddy. My mind is blown. There's 2 sides to a story. Holy shit. I didn't think it was possible in the big 26, guys. After so many false allegations towards YouTubers, you might assume that people might be like, well, there's a history of this. It's a pattern. I don't think anyone wants to talk about their private, intimate life in front of millions of people. It's embarrassing. So I do feel for that guy, because I'm like, well, how would I feel if this came out about me and share intimate stuff about my life? I think, like Tom, I'm a pretty private person. I don't think anyone cares about my private life. I'm just here to make videos, have fun, and entertain people. It doesn't go beyond that. So I totally get his point of wanting to maintain his private life well private, and who he's dating or who he's not or who he's hooking up with private, because I don't think it's anyone's business. It's not my business. It's not relevant to the content he makes. So it's like, whatever. I'm not a vlogger. I'm not a family channel. Besides the Instagram posts that I do when I travel on the Sense account, that's it. I like my privacy. There's a reason why here I don't show my face. There's a reason why I keep a lot of things private. I don't know. I feel for him.
She's alleging that I did it with another girl named Ellie, who I briefly talked to 2 years ago. Now, there's no proof whatsoever that I did anything close to age play, but I did text her about these allegations, and she clearly states that I've never done age play. An ex-girlfriend of mine named Kai, who I dated for 3 years, also publicly posted on Twitter saying that I never abused her and that we never did anything related to age play. So this brings the total counter up to 5 5 people: Rowan, Katie, Ellie, Kai, and another random girl I banged a year ago named Maddie, who for some reason came out in the midst of all of this to post pictures of herself in my house. And all of these people say that I never was into this fetish with them. The closest thing I've ever engaged in when it comes to age play is that sometimes girls do call me daddy during sex. It's a little embarrassing given that I am me. I accept that it's something people are going to see as a little bit strange.
Anyone that's going to criticize this and be like, this just confirms that he's a pedophile and he's into age play and he wears diapers. Anyone that says that will be exposed as someone that gets no bitches and no hus and is just the biggest loser ever. You're just a Twitter tough guy loser that tweets and gets 20 likes and thinks they're a celebrity. Welcome to real life. I don't know what to tell you guys. This is just real life stuff. So the worst is just people calling Tom daddy. That's legitimately nothing. And if anyone has an issue with that, you're the biggest virgin of all time.
In the same vein as this accusation, Rowan stated, "One more thing to add I thought was odd. Never really expressed any interest in Hello Kitty or that type of e-girl stuff, but I had like one Hello Kitty figure in my car. As a gift, Tom bought me Hello Kitty pajamas and a bunch of Hello Kitty stuff." So Rowan essentially wants you to believe that I'm pushing Hello Kitty onto her as if I have some kind of weird fascination with it. But the truth is that I am a 23-year-old man and I don't give a fuck about Hello Kitty, okay? The only reason I bought her anything Hello Kitty themed at all, which was once, by the way, was because she frequently expressed interest in it. Here she is sending me a photo with a Hello Kitty figurine next to her printer. Here she is sending me a photo with a hand-drawn and colored Hello Kitty image on her wall. Yeah, she made these herself. Here, in regards to her decorating my room, she says, "No Hello Kitty?" with a frowny face, and I say, "Correct." And something interesting about these texts is that she shows that she has a poster of the movie Lolita on her wall. I wonder what the movie Lolita could possibly be about. This film is about a middle-aged professor who is sexually attracted to adolescent girls he calls nymphettes. He rents a room in the house of a young widow to get closer to her 14-year-old daughter, Dolores Hayes Lowe, whom he calls Lolita. Obsessed with the girl, he eventually gains control over her after he takes her cross-country with him.
Do not show the movie to Minecraft YouTubers or Lakari. Now, going over the Hello Kitty thing, once again, a nothing burger. That's just common sense, right? If I'm with a girl and they're like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something random. If they like fucking The Weeknd, right? Or Mario or Sonic or fucking Green Day, whatever, The Office, pick anything. I get in their car and they have a fucking Weeknd Pop Funko or a toy, or they have an EXO sticker, and then we go to her house and she has a Weeknd poster. It's like, oh, I think she likes a Weeknd. I'm gonna go get her the new album, right? I'm gonna go give her a cool figurine. Cool t-shirt. You know what I mean? It's not because you're trying to mold them into your ex or into a certain type. You'll see or hear they express they like X thing. If you have common sense and you're a decent human, you're like, oh, okay, she likes this, so let me get her this, right? There's nothing wrong with this. They like something, you want to be nice, so you give them something of said character they like. It's not that deep. And once again, if anyone has issues with that, it just shows you they're fucking virgins and they've never spoken to a woman in their life. It really isn't that deep.
Immediately after I told Rowan that I wanted to break up with her, she began threatening to post about me online and even began attempting to blackmail me into having sex with her again. I don't know what you want me to say to you. I just want to move on from our relationship and have you go be in your corner. You can meet other guys and it'll be fine. I'll go meet other girls. We'll just break up.
No, you won't, because I'm gonna make it hard for you to ever be in a relationship.
Why?
Because you don't deserve one.
Why?
Because you're a piece of shit.
Why?
Because our whole relationship, you act like everything is all about you the whole time.
Okay.
You don't give a fuck. You're just an awful guy, and I'm so sorry that your mom raised you. She seemed like a nice lady, but clearly she did something very wrong.
Okay, Rowan, I just want to move on and have my life, and you'll move on and have your life, and we can be in our own corners. We don't have to do damage to each other. We don't have to cause each other any more anguish. Okay.
I just want to see you again, though. Like, do you think we'll ever be able to see each other?
After the way these conversations have gone today, I really don't think so.
Why?
Because you're like threatening to blackmail me.
Nah, this chick is crazy. She needs to go.
And that's why after I stopped talking to her, she proceeded to call me over 30 times and texted me 80 times with no response. She is publicly claiming to be a victim of sexual abuse while begging me to fuck her again. The next person I'd like to address is Clorox Katie. Katie's a girl I had a brief sexual relationship with 2 years ago, and she began posting about me on the same day as Rowan. Now, back when we were hanging out, she flew all the way from California to Maine to hang out with me twice. In the interview, she describes her time with me as the worst experience of her life.
And then you fly back. And how did that go? How long did you stay?
Horrible. That was the worst experience of my life, I think.
And she also took to the forum to make some posts about me. Yes, Tom is extremely harsh during sex. I've been down the kink roads in my life, and how he acts is actually just evil and almost sadistic. Not even kinked up, just actually a Patrick Bateman type gooner. When asked how things between us ended, here is what she had to say. I just truly thought he was a cringe who definitely was going to beat me later if I stayed around. We only had a 2-month fling, but even my insane ass was scared of how he acted, and he was also just stupid. I hated conversation with him. He was just extremely weird to me and also evil as fuck during sex. Naturally, people asked her why she hadn't reported me to the police, and her response was, I thought about the police and looked into it, but again, it being across my own state lines and in Maine, it would have had to been filed there, and I lived on the opposite side of the country, so it just didn't seem feasible. These claims are once again so absurd to me that the best way to dispel them is to just look through our messages together. In these two DMs, you see that Katie comes to visit me for the first time on January 20th and leaves on January 23rd. She comes to visit me, she says she's excited, she then goes home, and after leaving my house the first time, she immediately texted me saying, I had so much fun, Tom, you can kidnap me whenever. I feel so alone in my bed. She then says that she has to come back. Now, days after coming the first time, she sends me nudes. Once again, this is kind of a weird thing to send to somebody that you're claiming is recording sex with you without your consent. Why would you send this person nudes? She then sends me nudes a second time, says she needs it, says so starved, so deprived, and she says that she misses me so much. I say, let's hang out in March. She says I'm down, but waiting until March will be so hard.
After seeing all of this, after seeing the full video, after hearing both sides, I've come to the conclusion that maybe, just maybe, the girls were lying and they were salty. Some people might say that I'm biased. I'm covering for Mr. Tom. Tom brought the receipts. He exposed these two insane fucking chicks for being nothing but a bunch of hypocritical, insane liars who should be sued. That's my favorite thing to do, by the way. Just sue people. Sue this person, sue that person. Yeah, they're evil. They're on the hinge. They're legitimately a danger to society.
A lot of people say things to the effect of, Tom's a hypocrite. He gooned. And you're right. I did goon. Okay. I did not stop gooning. So maybe in the end, the hats are more relevant than ever. Anyway, that's about it.
My closing statement to that is, I think we're all little gooners. Tom, I don't know if you're watching this, but if you could send me a free Stop Gooning hat, I would really appreciate it. Free Turkey Tom. Turkey Tom did nothing wrong. Anyone that called them a you should apologize or just, I don't know, jump off a cliff. I don't know, whichever's more convenient. Subscribe to the channel, and now I'm gonna go goon. So, bye.